Our Collision 2018 coverage is proudly powered by Amazon Prime. Find out all the ways you can benefit from a Prime subscription and get a 30-day free trial by going to collision.live/prime and by audiobooks.com. Get a free trial and a free audiobook to keep at audiobooks.com using promo code TRY70. Well, we have our next guest here. Hello.
Hi. Hey.
How are you doing?
Great. I'm fantastic.
Go ahead and introduce yourself for us.
Sure. I'm Jonathan Grisley, founder and CEO at Spin. We make a car shopping app, so we've launched it. It's our MVP.
Okay.
And we're trying to sort of fix the car shopping experience.
Okay.
Great, because that's a painful experience. How are you trying to fix it?
Yeah, so the big trend right now, it just sort of in the world, is that consumers want to research everything that they buy. They really care about how those purchases impact, themselves, their family, but also the environment. Like, people are caring more about the environment than ever before.
Right.
So we really want to empower consumers to make smart decisions. So we've essentially redesigned the car shopping experience.
Okay.
Consumers today spend about 14 to 15 hours online doing that research, and then they go into the dealership once and then make the purchase, as opposed to back in the day where they would bounce around and research and test drive.
Right. And go to a couple of dealerships. And
Sure, yeah. So, I used to work for Kelley Blue Book.
Okay.
And so they fall into the category of third-party automotive, right? Yeah. I also used to do work for Nissan and Infiniti, so they're like an OEM site, and both of those experiences provide value, right? Like the Nissan Infiniti website is very, very immersive, right? Like you can just get lost in that experience, but it's all about Nissan, right?
Right.
KBB is a really great place to find your used car value, and you can compare cars, but it's really not an immersive, like, engaging experience. So we took the best parts of both of those experiences. We sort of combined them together. That's sort of the framework of our app. So we've seen, like, super good engagement. So we're thinking of turning it into a real business. Like, we basically launched it as a test.
Okay.
But yeah, we're really excited about it. So we're here to essentially share it, get feedback, start networking with investors. We're not really, like, raising any money right now, but yeah, we're open to accelerating our growth. So that's sort of been our focus here at Collision.
Okay, understood. Yeah. So you've gotten rid of the flat of Kelley Blue Book because it's a very flat experience.
Yeah.
Very two-dimensional.
Sure.
A couple of photos, a lot of text.
Yep.
And you've brought in the really engaging aspect of a lot of the OEM sites.
Yeah, and I can show it to you.
Oh.
So I saw in your videos last year that you could superimpose, or someone over in that direction could superimpose
absolutely
what the app looks like. So we've acquired over 500,000 photos, like super high quality.
Wow. That's a lot of photos.
Yeah, we had a professional photographer curate those photos.
If you aim it up at this camera here,
so
the people...
There we go.
So
hopefully it will sort of also magically appear somewhere here later.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So 16,000 photos in the app today.
Okay.
It's about, on average, maybe 35 photos per vehicle. We've got all the best data, like the latest data, for every new car available today. So it's an MVP, so we started just with new.
Okay.
Fair enough.
It looks good on this screen. This is an iPhone 10X, whatever you want to call it. It looks much better on an iPad or an iPad Pro.
Okay.
So we show everything full screen. We essentially did a lot of work in terms of data visualization.
I love this.
Thank you.
As a UI guy myself, I looked at the screenshots before I sent you the invite. And I really liked the way the app looks. It really does. It makes the important parts big, and it makes the supporting information smaller.
Yeah, and so what we saw is that, like I was saying, in the third-party automotive sites, you can compare vehicles against each other, but what you see is a spreadsheet, right? So if you're the type of person here that cares about fuel economy, like, we listened to Al Gore last night talking about how there's a huge shift in the automotive market where people, everyone's going electric, hybrid is sort of old, everyone's going electric, everyone's going autonomous. Well, if that's important to you, we actually just focus on, annual cost, and we visualize that so you can see bar graphs to show, hey, this is how much money I'm going to save if I buy this car over this car.
Okay.
Right here, we haven't saved our favorites, so we're just comparing cars that are in the similar category and similar price range to the car you're currently looking at, but you can save your favorites, and then you can basically save your favorites, you can configure your favorites, and essentially get really hone down that competitive set for yourself for what's right for you. Just to go back, sorry, I'm tapping and looking. I'm doing this.
When you're trying to interact with it while not being able to see it, it gets a whole lot more difficult.
It's amazing that the collision app, someone was doing that with the collision app trying to scan my badge earlier. It was amazing.
Yeah. That's impressive. I can't always use it looking at it directly.
Yeah, we won't go there. But anyway, so there's headroom, there's legroom, there's performance specs. So you can see is it all-wheel drive, how much horsepower and torque. So if you're a performance guy, you can compare. And then this is really the area where we're most proud, is that two big factors stood out to us as we did our market research, which was that there's all this new technology coming out to keep people safe.
Okay.
No one understands it. I mean, not, the majority of users do not understand this at all. So we thought we had a duty to educate consumers in this area. So the other factor, though, was that this is one of the highest consideration factors in buying a car, right? You want to keep your family safe.
And yet we don't understand it.
Exactly.
We want it, but we don't get it.
Oh. So, if, we actually animate and explain.
Did you see that?
So there's blind spot monitoring. There's, if the car has a collision warning, if the car has autonomous, or I shouldn't say autonomous, but automatic braking, you get too close to the car, it automatically applies the brakes. And then we actually factor in backup camera, into this set, because to us it's a safety feature.
Little puppy.
So anyway, so we're educating the consumers on what these technologies do. We're normalizing it because everyone has their own buzzword, like every brand. Mercedes will call it one thing. Volvo will call it something completely different. So we're making it easy for consumers by just making it intuitive and consistent, explaining it to them, and also explaining which cars have it and which cars don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And creating a lexicon that people can understand from car to car.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that's the problem. Each brand has its own brands, its own lexicon for the same feature.
The Audi calls all-wheel drive Quattro. Right. Which Quattro meant something completely different for them years ago. It's like their engineering division or something. Mm-hmm. But then later they started badging cars that had all-wheel drive as Quattro. And then if you go, what is it? Mercedes has some really long, fancy. Can't even say it.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So we spent literally thousands and thousands of hours, both organizing the photos, but also normalizing the data, cleaning up the data, trying to make it just really understandable.
Sure.
We really wanted to create a shopping experience where you could learn about these cars and you could do it end to end. If you didn't know anything about the car you wanted to buy, you could go in here and just discover. But the app, the intention is the app gets smarter about your shopping patterns as you go.
Got it.
So the app is live?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
How far along in the process are you guys to?
So we soft launched an iPad-only app as a test. It was many months ago.
Okay.
And we didn't want to throw. So I think of myself as trying to do things very measured and safe.
Right.
And we got maybe a little bit frivolous with this. But anyway, so we launched an iPad-only test. The engagement was really high. Like average session was like 8 minutes.
Okay.
And so we looked at that. We're like, oh, we really need to open this up to a wider audience. And so again, that was iPad only. Not many people download it. We didn't promote it at all. It's just a test. We just launched it universal, so now it's much better on a large iPad. So like the UI scales for the iPad Pro, but it also works on all iPhones. We are not really promoting it. I know that this is technically promotion, but we just put it out there and to see how people would engage with it organically, and we're starting to throw a little bit of marketing money behind it.
Okay.
But the engagement is still really good. So on phone, it's 6 to 7 minutes. On iPad, it's now over 11 minutes.
Nice.
And users are coming back multiple times a month. They're coming back multiple times a day.
Wow.
So we're super stoked with like how that's going.
For sure.
No plans to put it on Android yet? Or
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
No plans to put it on Android yet? Or
We would love to. Do you know someone who could write us a big fat check? I'm sure you guys get that a lot. No, I mean, so we've been bootstrapped up until now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're talking to investors. We think there's plenty of investors out there.
Right.
There's probably a lot that are not a good fit. We don't want to waste their time.
Right.
We're not just like blanket emailing people. We're trying to find someone who is a good fit and who's interested in this space, and then see how that relationship can work in the future, how we can help each other out. So I'm sure that there's, a lot of network contacts that people can help us with, and we could definitely use some capital to accelerate our growth.
So your plans for Collision are just networking and...
Yeah, and like it was interesting. So we when we signed up for Collision, like a UI, like another UI guy, another UX guy, messaged me like right away, and he was like, I do product teardowns. Like, how about I just rip apart your app? And I'm like, yes.
Wow.
I want to get like the brutally honest truth about it, right? So,
or even if it's not the brutally honest truth, just be brutal.
Right.
Because even in even in sarcasm comes truth.
Sure. Yeah. In every joke there is a little bit of truth, right? Yeah.
So be mean to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, just like I opened it up to you guys just now, and I'm not like, we actually signed up too late to join the pitch competition and whatnot, and I think it would be too early to do that. But we just want to get feedback from people, and it's great because the products and websites that are out there today, there's so many of them that are enthusiast focused, and like when I think about like my wife. If she was shopping for a car, she's not going to go to, and I won't name the magazine names, but she's not. That's where a lot of the traffic is today, right? And so it doesn't speak to sort of a broad enough audience. So yeah, I mean, to your point, we're working on expanding it. I won't say exactly what's in our roadmap.
Okay.
We're definitely looking at Android. We're looking at responsive web. We're looking at adding more features, more content. We wanted to, really sort of dial it down before we try to ramp it up.
I think it looks awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The UI is clean.
Oh, it needs my face.
It's a sexy interface.
Yeah. So we did a dark theme. It doesn't make sense, but the inspiration there is the Apple Store. You walk into that physical environment, and they just put the product in front of you, and it's like, play with it. If you like it, buy it.
Right.
If you don't, it's not for you.
Okay.
Right? And so in this experience, the product is the car. We wanted our UI to fade away.
No,
and just give and there's so much romance. I mean, I'm a car guy, so
I understand.
But there's so much romance to buying a car. Like there really is.
Like I need to buy a new car, and this app is something I would use.
But you're an Android guy.
I'm Android.
Do you have an iPad?
No, but I know someone with an iPad.
Hijack an iPad.
I'll loan you mine, Nakia. We're good. I need to look for a new car as well.
Boom.
For Danielle.
For Danielle.
We can do it together.
Yeah, let's do it. Because this is amazing. I am 100% impressed by all of it.
Yeah, and so
If it wasn't sexy, I'd tell you.
Thank you.
If it looked like trash,
No,
I'd be
no,
like,
no,
"Get this off the
seriously. And
table.
if there's
Why are you
any
here?"
like profane words that you don't want to say on the air,
I'll say it off.
yeah. So you can actually message me right there.
What?
Yeah.
Great.
But no, because we want.
'Cause you
I mean,
want
we
input.
want feedback.
Yeah.
I mean, you could review the app right there too.
Oh,
But
question.
but yeah, you could share it. You can basically that goes to info@spin.car. Ooh, www.spin.cars. But yeah, it goes to info@spin.cars, and it will literally like pop up in my inbox, and I will respond to you. I care about what people think passionately.
So I'm located out of Florida.
So this is U.S. focused in terms of the cars, so the car data that we're currently showing.
Got it.
We can get Canadian data, right? But I actually know a bunch of people that are expats, and so I've actually heard frustration from them, like, why can't I download this app if I'm in, I want to say Afghanistan, because honestly, when we launched it, we actually saw a bunch of people download it and like use it for like an hour
Wow.
per session in Afghanistan. And I was like,
Interesting.
who is this guy? I want to talk to him.
Right.
Right.
Right? So like, you must be like you must be super into cars. But yeah, like, we're actually available globally.
Okay.
So it should be available in every app store. We're not necessarily translated for every language.
Right.
Sure.
And the data obviously doesn't change. It's all U.S. market focused.
Right.
But yeah, I mean,
Awesome.
if you're in Florida, you
It'll
can
show
actually
me.
even click get a quote when you do decide what car to buy,
Okay.
and we'll try to contact you to a dealer.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in my area.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, the cars are standardized these days.
Right.
Right. So the same, like this, we're looking at Nissan Murano. That model, it used to be that, like, the emissions equipment on a car that was sold in California was different or special, and the other states with the different. No, I mean, for the most part, it's the same. I'm
Yeah.
generalizing, but the Nissan Murano you buy in Florida versus California is not going to be
It's the
different.
same.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Got it.
I like it.
Okay, so what are your plans for the company? Where is your revenue model to be able to keep this thing going?
Sure. So when I used to work at Kelley Blue Book, they made a lot of money.
Okay.
So I mean, it's interesting. Like, we're trying to make money. For a privately held company with 350 employees when I left, they made a lot of money for those 350 employees, right?
Okay.
For the company. There's a lot of new players in automotive right now.
Mhm.
So that falls into like the area of fintech or some sort of like new evolution of ownership, right? So there's a lot of like, actually a buddy of mine started a company called, I'll plug him too. His company is called Borrow. It's joinborrow.com. But he's local in LA. And if you wanted to essentially lease, like short-term lease a car, you could sign up, and I think you could do like 3 months of driving a Tesla. And if you don't like it after 3 months, switch it out for something else, right?
Okay.
Which is a very cool model.
Yeah, it is.
But for us, we're like agnostic to all of that.
Yeah.
So you can, I won't say the numbers, but like if you submit a new car lead and it goes to a dealer, dealers pay for that information. And we're not, we'll only share it with them if you as a customer choose
Yes.
to say, I
Right.
want to buy a car from that business. And then, there's a win-win,
Sure.
right? So go away, Twitter. There's
I usually feel that way.
I'm sorry. No, so lease applications, you can now fill out a lease application online.
Mhm.
Hyundai, I have a friend at Hyundai. Hyundai's built that technology. Ford is building that technology. Independent of all of those OEMs, Autogravity has built that technology. So that's a company that we would love to partner with.
Sure.
At some point.
Sure.
Obviously, there's revenue in that. There's ads, but the way that third-party automotive works today is you go to any of those websites, and you're shopping for a Nissan, and you see a Honda ad. We're never gonna disrupt the user experience like that.
Right.
if let's just say you wanted to see an ad for a Nissan Murano, we will, if you choose to, we will show you that ad.
Okay.
But we think there's like a really big sort of contextual win-win here, where of course advertisers are going to want you to watch a video ad, right?
Right.
If you choose
Fair
to.
enough.
Yeah. So anyway,
Okay.
and there's more, but I think that's
Yeah.
sort of the
Right. That's sort of
the
the
crux of
base.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So if our viewers want more information and they want to follow your journey,
They want to
and
download the app.
download the app.
Yep.
Where can they find that at?
Plug. So our marketing website is www.spin.cars. You can find us in the App Store, so we're universal for iOS, iPhone, and iPad. You can also find us on Twitter at @SpinCars. We're also on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. I think it's kind of the same everywhere you go. Maybe a little bit different, but just check out our website. It has all the links.
Very good.
It's been amazing. Again, it is a very sexy user interface.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love it. And I'm going to have to steal an iPad now because of you. I'm going to theft. It's going to be your fault.
I'll bring mine tomorrow. You can steal it.
Sweet. You guys heard him say that.
I heard it. We got it on film.
Cool.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Have
My
a good
pleasure.
conference.